So where I would like to go next are 5 reasons why, as women, we have so many excuses not to have sex. So we see what's going on underneath that has been birthed from the place of sex always being an act. That from the time we were young, we, again, read romance novels, talked to friends, watched TV, watched things like Sex and the City, watched romance movies, and we watched, learned, and copied who we thought we were supposed to be in the bedroom. And we can't keep the act up. So then we come up with a lot of excuses. So the first excuse, or the first reason why, we have so many excuses, is we feel, number one, we feel like sex is an obligation and a burden. That we don't have anything left in us to give to our husbands. We are queens of putting ourselves last, meaning overcommitting, putting 1,000 things in our calendar, being on 1,000 committees for work or things with our children, signing up for things we have no time to do, saying yes to everything anyone asks of us, and we drain ourselves. And what we have to do is be honest with ourselves that we purposely drain ourselves so that we run on empty. And there's nothing left in us to be able to give to the marriage and give to our husbands and the things that are important to them. We put our husbands, because we put ourselves at the bottom of the totem pole and drain ourselves, we put our husbands at the bottom of the totem pole. And it's part of the creation of the excuse. So we don't have to be the actress in the bedroom because it feels like an obligation and a burden. It's very, very difficult to keep up the act when you don't know how to enjoy sex for yourself. The second reason why we have so many excuses not to have sex, number 2, men and women are wired differently sexually. And what I mean by that is, for a man, sex is easily in the top 3 of what's most important to him in a marriage. And the reality is, and it's not good or bad, it's just the truth, it might not even make our top 10 as women. We completely miss each other here. For us as women, it might be 8, 9, or 10, or it might not even be on the list. And you have to understand that's true, because if it was really important to you and a priority, we would never stop having it. So it's just understanding, just practically, we are wired differently when it comes to sex, and we don't feel a responsibility to meet our husband's needs and what's important to them because it's not as important to us. But what I'm trying to teach women, what I had to learn, is that it's a responsibility that comes with marriage. It's a role we have committed to. So you don't have to make it the goal. And I had to learn this. The goal isn't to make it the most important thing to you or get it in your top 3. It's to accept and realize the differences. And then how do I learn to enjoy this for myself and realize and accept it is a part of the responsibility so that I can be proud of myself and who I am as a wife and be able to give my husband something very simple that's really important to him that he enjoys and wants and needs. So that's the second reason why we have so many excuses. We are wired differently, and we don't feel as women a responsibility to meet our husband's needs because it's not as important to us. The third reason why we have so many excuses is we are selfish and only think of ourselves and what we want. So again, this comes back to, because it's not important to us, we have no capacity to meet the needs of our husband because we are so focused on how our needs aren't being met. And this comes back to how we live and can't victim in our marriages, blaming our husbands for why we're not feeling loved, taken care of, that our needs aren't being met. So we're focused on all the things they're not doing for us, and then we don't feel loved. So I'm not going to give him anything. I'm not going to give him what's important to him. What about me? And that's because of our selfishness, and we're so self-centered and only thinking of our needs and wants that we can't give what's important and what our husbands need to them in our selfishness. The fourth reason why we have so many excuses to not have sex in our marriage is women. We emasculate our men by treating them like children, and it kills our attraction to them. You have to understand and recognize, I did a video on this not too long ago about our repulsion to our husbands and how it is self-created. We emasculate them in a myriad of ways, and then we create a lens and image of them that they're a pathetic excuse of a man. We often feel like if a woman has, let's say she has 3 children, she'll say, I have 4 children, one's an adult man in the marriage, because that's how we see our husbands, because we treat them that way. And then we create the very thing we need them to be to push them away, to have that repulsion. And we feel like our husband is a child, which want to have sex. Of course, we're not interested in having sex with our husbands if we're treating them like children and see them like a child. So we have to recognize what we're creating and being controlling, wanting to change them, constantly seeing all the things we think are wrong or bad about them, and then letting them know that they become emasculated, they become weak in the marriage, and you're not attracted to them. And the fifth reason we have so many excuses to not have sex is number 5, we are really uncomfortable in our own bodies. And it doesn't matter. I've worked with really thin women, normal, average, everyday women, bigger women. I can promise you across the board, it doesn't matter what you look like. And actually, some of the women I have worked with who have been total knockouts are the most insecure women that I work with, because all their value in life has been based on how they look in their bodies, and that they feel like a transactional commodity with their looks and their bodies. What we have to realize why we feel so uncomfortable in our bodies is not because of how we look or our weight. We project onto our physical bodies how badly we feel about ourselves on the inside. It's an internal issue, not an external issue of how we look or the weight that we are. It's who we are in the dark when no one's looking, and the choices we make and the things we do to ourselves that make us feel so bad about ourselves. So when we're really uncomfortable in our bodies, the last thing we want to do is get naked in bed and be exposed in the bedroom and worried about what wrinkle is showing and what fat roll and how do I look? That doesn't look good. That can't be sexy. But we have to know a good man he's not focused on those things. He could care less. He could care less when you're kind and loving and happy in yourself and treat him with love and kindness. Could care less. They don't care about those things. But we get so caught up in that. And as we age and get older and we don't look like we did when we're 25 and our bodies don't look like we did when we were 25, then we become incredibly insecure in that way, and we'll hide in the closet to get dressed and not let our husband see us when we get out of the shower. And then we'll make tons of excuses to not have sex because of how we feel in our bodies. So those are the 5 reasons why we have so many excuses as women to not have sex. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and you want a path forward to change your woman ways and truly be happy in yourself, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program. And the happiness program teaches you to resolve the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself so that you can be the solution to the issues and challenges in your marriage and your life. You can find the link in the description below to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. For the good men listening who want a way to take back the power you've unknowingly given away to your wives, I also have a course for you called the Marriage Rescue Course for Good Men Only. And the course teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence so that you can navigate the relationship with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.